Hi, welcome to Distance Education Equality, Learning Case Study number 3 with group number 4. We're going to discuss the history of online learning first really quickly and whether or not this is really comparing apples to apples or apples to oranges. Because after starting as a print-based correspondence course model, distance education has really progressed to become something entirely different. It's a multimodal, multimedia experience with options like synchronous lectures, YouTube videos from prominent professionals successful in their field, proctored exams in huge testing centers, and free, but potentially unmonitored, educational access. Our consulting firm is going to attempt to show University of Missed Opportunities, UMO, how entering the online degree market can improve open educational access and enhance their enrollment numbers and their cash flow without watering down the high perceived value of their degree, turning their university into a sheepskin factory with college degrees basically for sale, because we don't want that. And in order to begin this, I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer Barker, who is going to give us a humanitarian point of view.
Yes, from the humanitarian point of view, I have found that we can address everyone's concerns and make online education accessible to everyone. It can be more convenient for students, and it can be more applicable to the real world because it is an independent way of learning and it is more fast-paced. So first we'll start addressing faculty concerns. We would have to offer gradual online training for faculty members to feel comfortable. Comfortable faculty members would be more effective at teaching, and we certainly don't want to throw anyone into it. Also, we would make sure to host discussion forums with strict requirements, especially for intro classes, just to make sure students would be getting a quality educational experience. We could make readings required and have assessments to measure student understanding and to ensure that they're actually doing the work, so we know that they're getting quality information. Also, we would want to step away from the focus on technology, but instead focus on best delivery. We don't always want to use the latest, best piece of technology. It's not a competition. Let's use what's most effective. Faculty can help online programs maintain equality with traditional programs with support from the administration and by using more traditional methods in online classrooms, such as lecture notes, quality reading, recorded lectures from their actual classes, videos from YouTube that demonstrate what they're talking about, and regular assessments. Student concerns really deal with reaching more students. We need to be more accessible. We need to be accessible to students who might have jobs, families, other responsibilities. We want them to be able to go to a reputable school and get that degree from an accredited institution. Students can have a quality experience if they have classes offered by well-organized professors, and the administration is key to that and must get behind the faculty and support them and make sure that they're comfortable again. Courses must be consistent through department or maybe university-wide, and a rapport must be built between professors and his or her students. It's important to engage online students. As far as equality, we need to focus more on hard sciences so we can be very inclusive of all students. In the past, we really focused on soft sciences. So in order to incorporate hard sciences into online education, it would be wise to begin with intro-level courses and then maybe design videos for labs with examples and interactive discussions, etc. Maybe develop some home experimental kits to send out to students, but we must realize when the line has to be drawn. The technology just isn't there for every lab, so we need to make sure we're being wise about the situation to provide them with quality educational experience. So now I will hand it over to our devil's advocate, David Farmer.
Thank you, Jennifer. As the devil's advocate, I have 5 questions that I think are going to be important to to online learning. The first one, can hard sciences with labs truly be taught online? And even though we are accredited, will employers buy into this? That's one of the most important pieces is we're doing this degree to find a job. So do we have any information from maybe local employers that they are good with online degrees? Number two, will traditional on-campus students transition into full-time online and drop out of housing and meal plans and parking fees and other revenue generators? We don't want to trade one group of students for another. Our intention is to increase revenue by getting new students. Number three, will students get the true college experience? Items like social and sporting events, Greek life, the new learning and living communities, or does this matter to them? Number four, will faculty buy into online teaching? Our administration has already made it clear that we're going in this direction. Faculty, like many of us, may resist change. So this change is going to have to happen if we're going to get where we need to go. And lastly, faculty must acknowledge that they're confident and satisfied with their training, even to the point of signing an agreement. This definitely could be the difference between a good experience and a bad one. So our faculty must be held accountable at this point. And now let's turn this over to our manager, Guru.
But it's a good thing. Okay, it's healthy to bring up issues like that. But to reassure everybody and make everybody feel better, we're going to highlight these problems and we're going to solve them. The first one, we're worried about the faculty. My question is why? They're going to receive some training. Some won't, because once again, this is just an expansion of our resources and not a reinvention of the system. And it's important to note that this is not just a passing fancy. The evolution of education is online, and eventually teachers are going to have to adapt. Now the same thought goes for tradition. We aren't just taking the whole school virtual, and we're simply just expanding the population. And to be fair, this population is made up of workers, people who probably aren't interested in the Greek life and the physical traditions. The tradition that will remain constant will be the intangibles, such as academic excellence. And why are we worried about revenue loss? The creation of online education comes from a lack of funding to place in physical facilities. Virtual classrooms can hold more students than the physical ones. Now, the greatest argument, without a doubt, is the lack of classroom interaction when making the switch from traditional to online. Now, honestly, some things we can't replace, like the smell of iodine. So, until the virtual classroom has advanced, and it will, the technology will get there, especially in this era, we'll have to include a few physical classrooms into the curriculum of certain programs. As far as the value of such a program, take these things into consideration. Direct instruction is transforming into collaborative education. Okay, the research has shown that it works for academic performance of our students. And the online program has set the foundation for this. It's basically student-driven. Next, economic realities will drive this online education forward. They don't have to commute. Okay, tuition costs are lower. And technology will continue to push this template. Lastly, fiscally, this is the best decision for the college. There is no fiscal cost for facilities, and the population can be increased. So, So, truthfully, this is probably the best decision you can make for your college or university. And we're going to pass on to Natasha, who's going to wrap it up.
I have some final action steps to suggest. First of all, you want to address training concerns because your faculty is the front line of defense to keep the perceived high value of UMO's education. So to help them stay in the vanguard of their fields, they need to know that this is going to be a benefit situation for them. Their wish for more knowledge and more readiness is a benefit to everyone. Now, the next thing is related. Revenue must go back into the program. You must roll it back in. Not all of this revenue can or should go to admin, to parking lots, to football fields. It must be rolled over. You have to make a decision up front about how much of your newly realized revenue is going to go directly back to your departments. And you're going to have to let the departments know that this funding is going to help them. So the third thing is a discussion of how we're going to improve hard science distance education. To do that, consider partnering with your students' local high schools, medical facilities, or businesses that have labs where those students are. Not only is a real-world setting of huge value, every contact you have with a high school is a recruitment tool, and every contact with a business is a chance for increased graduate employment placement. The same holds true for all practical courses. Bring the student into the community where they live while supporting their learning and evolution, and the community is going to come back to you. I want to thank you for looking at ways that we can address equality in online learning. Thank you, Sam, Jennifer, and David, for your input.